Hey, it's time to talk money in our Financial Focus. Financial analyst Steve Budin is here to talk more about a couple important things going on. And I think we keep hearing about this possible Sprint T-Mobile merger and thinking, when's it going to happen and what does it mean for us? First off, if it happened, what would it mean? Would we get like cheaper phones, carriers?
Yeah, so this has been talked about now for about 6 years, and now both companies feel the time is right. So the companies have voted to merge, which would create the third largest cell carrier between AT&T and Verizon. Now, not so fast. The government is going to review this to make sure that it doesn't create a monopoly. If it creates a monopoly between the top three carriers, it could mean higher prices. So the government will look into this, and it could take up to a year to get done. So if you're a T-Mobile or Sprint subscriber, nothing's going to change for the next year at least. But if it does, then you will have more competition among three carriers versus four. And I think it'll go through, but they will review it.
And what do you think the benefit is for them? I mean, I feel like T-Mobile is becoming a little bit more well-known than even Sprint. So maybe it's a good thing for Sprint to kind of hop on board. Yeah, what it does is it gives both of these companies the ability to compete with the two larger carriers. Something called 5G, a much faster bandwidth system, is coming into play in the next couple of years. And these companies basically need to merge to compete with the other two. And I think the government knows that. And there's so many other ways now with the technology to do communications that if there's 3 or 4 cell carriers, I don't really think it makes that much difference. Right. Yeah, we like 5G, don't we? Like everything to be faster in our lives.
We want it faster and cheaper.
Yes.
Just have to pay for it.
It's so true. All right. Well, speaking of pay, big pay gains recently. I guess it's the highest since 2008. You were telling me. So we're getting paid more.
Yeah. Those who are. Aren't you?
Well. Okay.
Next topic. So those who have jobs, actually, you're on average, you're seeing about a 3% pay gain, largest since 2008, which obviously is good for those with jobs. There actually is a qualified worker shortage, and I've mentioned this for the past 2 years. So if you're on the fence looking for something, now's the time to start looking because there are a shortage of qualified workers. Those with jobs are actually seeing some good gains.
Right, yeah, it's interesting. So will it be a trend that you think you see it keep going, or eventually it's going to flatten out? Or?
Yeah, I think for the next few months you'll see this continue. There's just, from employer reports, employers are having a real tough time finding qualified workers, whether it's computer people, laborers for home building. You're just seeing it across the board. But the key is you have to have the proper qualifications. Yeah,
and then there's the whole minimum wage thing. They all want to be paid more, and some of them are getting more money as well in different areas. So, all right, well, inflation, let's talk about that. You get a raise, but things go up in cost. You know, it feels like every year it's like, oh, I got a raise, but now my car payment's higher or my electric bill is bigger. So what's going on with that?
Right, and I know Marissa ran a story just before about the rising gas prices, and that's what the government is beginning to see. We're seeing a trickle up of inflation, which basically means, you know, you go into Vons or you go to the gas station, what would cost you $50 maybe a year ago, now might cost you, $55. So if the wage gains you're getting are not keeping pace with inflation, then that could become a problem. And the central bank, the Federal Reserve, watches this really closely. If they see inflation really begin to kick up, then you'll see them begin to raise interest rates, which tends to slow the economy down a little bit. And if they slow the economy down a little bit, the thinking goes inflation will drop and make things more affordable. So it's really a chicken or the egg situation. Is the higher gas prices causing the inflation, or is the inflation causing the higher gas prices? Nobody really knows, but at the same time, it's something to watch because it's a very important factor when the central bankers look to see how to treat the economy.
All right, some good information. Thanks, Steve Budin. See you next week. Stay with us.